Building strength is often framed as a logistical challenge, requiring a monthly membership, hours of daily commitment, and access to rows of specialized machinery. However, human physiology responds to the intensity of the stimulus, not the complexity of the equipment. It is possible to trigger significant adaptation using a 30-minute window of strictly sequenced bodyweight movements. This specific methodology utilizes a no-repeat rule. By performing each exercise only once, the brain is constantly presented with a new movement pattern, which prevents the mental friction and staleness that usually sets in during repetitive sets. The structure is divided into 5 non-repeating phases, each targeting a different physiological requirement to move the body from a cold start to systemic exhaustion. Physical transformation relies on a mathematically optimized progression that forces the body to adapt to increasing stress within a compressed timeframe. This 30-minute block is governed by a strict ratio: 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. This interval keeps the heart rate elevated while providing a recovery window for muscle cells to prepare for the next burst. Phase 1 focuses on the warm-up, a necessary sequence to lubricate the joints and signal the central nervous system that the intensity is about to shift. The transition to Phase 2 shifts the focus to the upper body, where the challenge is to create growth-inducing resistance without external weights. By manipulating body angles and leverage, shifting weight forward or widening the stance, the body creates its own resistance. This generates the mechanical tension required to break down muscle fibers. These initial movements serve as a neurological primer, readying the body for the heavier systemic demands of the subsequent phases. Phase 3 targets the lower body. Engaging the glutes and quads, the body's largest muscle groups, creates an immediate and massive spike in metabolic demand. Because the upper body was already fatigued in the previous phase, the heart must work significantly harder to move oxygenated blood to the legs, increasing the overall difficulty of every repetition. Once the major limbs are spent, the protocol moves into Phase 4, the core. At this critical stage, the core must act as a rigid stabilizer for the fatigued upper and lower halves. It becomes the bridge that holds the entire kinetic chain together under stress. Delaying this core-specific work until after the extremities are exhausted ensures that these stabilizing muscles reach failure. The final stage is Phase 5, the high-intensity finisher. This phase moves past localized muscle fatigue to push the cardiovascular system toward its maximum capacity. As the heart rate peaks on this chart, it triggers post-exercise oxygen consumption. This ensures the body remains in an elevated metabolic state, continuing to consume energy for several hours after the 30-minute session is complete. The 5-phase structure provides a distinct mental advantage over traditional routines. The no-repeat rule removes the anticipation of repetitive sets. Since each movement only happens once, the brain stays as active as the muscles. Applying this precise framework today offers immediate proof that compressed, high-intensity focus can push past perceived physical limits. While the 30-minute block is the engine, consistency over weeks and months is the metric that determines long-term transformation. Managing your own physiology requires no specialized environment, only 30 minutes of unrelenting, structured focus.